Hey guys, this is Scott and Wendy and
Hey.
Leo. We have Leo, one of our
Hey,
judges.
Leo.
Yeah, one of our judges here with us here in Des Moines, Iowa. We are live. I guess we're live. We won't be live on the podcast, but we are here
We're
in
recording
person.
live.
Yes,
We're in person, recording this in person with a live audience.
Yeah, here. Yeah, it is a live audience, isn't it?
We do. We have almost all the judges down here.
Yep. So we are in Hotel Fort Des Moines, which this place is really a beautiful
It's beautiful,
hotel.
yes.
Yeah.
It has a lot of history, I heard. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the carpet when you go to your room.
Mhm.
It has
Yes,
like all
it's a
the
timeline.
It
Yes.
is so nice to read through those. I haven't read the whole thing because it's 100 years of...
Right.
Well, here's the interesting part. If you start reading it, it just repeats itself over and over and over.
Oh, is that what's
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on?
it's
Okay.
only- yeah,
It's like a time loop then.
No,
Ours
it is.
doesn't. I mean, it even talks about the Soviet Union and, I don't...
Well, our floor, it's like it starts over and it starts over. Ryan was like reading it and then realized, oh, wait a minute, this is the same over. So it has
Well,
dates with
on
all
the
the
seventh
information.
floor.
Yeah, what floor are you on, Leo?
Fourth.
Fourth.
Fourth,
Okay,
yeah,
yes, you're
yeah.
on the same one as us, so you'll see.
So
You'll
we
notice.
probably read the same script then, right?
Yes,
That's what
yes,
you're saying.
yes,
Perfect.
yes. If you read the first couple steps, you probably read the whole thing. Well, we're here live in Des Moines.
Live. You keep
Live.
going with live.
I know. I can keep thinking that we're on a live
This
broadcast.
is such a nice group, so it just feels
We
like
do
so
live
lively.
broadcast. We
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
live
Oh, okay.
broadcast as well.
Maybe I
so-
should have set up a camera for
Hey,
this.
that would have been.
I brought
if we
I
would
brought
have
my
known,
camera.
yeah, if we would have known that we were going to be on a rain delay, storm delay, lightning delay.
So where are we? So yeah, we are when it comes to the timeline for today.
Yes.
Yes.
It's
Practice is supposed to start at 9. Official practice is supposed to start at 9. We were supposed to be at the field at 7, a little over an hour ago, but lightning is in the area. So
Yeah.
we are.
I think we as judges need to be on the field at 9, but I think that shooting is going to be at 10.
I think shooting is going to be at 10. And I'm not getting the text messages
You're
that are
not?
coming
Okay.
through. But
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, we gotta check with that
anyway.
then.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
but
checked with that, and my phone number's in there correctly, but it just doesn't like my phone.
Yeah, because I think I know the other thing that is going on is that the USA Archery staff has like a lightning detector with them, and they see that thing blinking. So obviously we don't want to
Yes.
be on the field when there's lightning.
No,
and I
not
tell you,
at all.
it is right now. It is 10 after 8, and it is
It is
pouring
dark.
outside.
It is dark.
Yeah,
All
it
the
almost
lights
feels
are
like it's
outside.
5 a.m. or
yes,
something, right?
absolutely. It is quite dark outside. So, but it's like true JOAD.
I just saw some lightning as
Did
well.
you? I
Yep.
was wondering if it was a flash. I don't know if we're camera flashes or if it's lightning.
Yeah.
or both. Maybe it's both.
Yeah, maybe.
But true JOAD national fashion, we are on a delay. We've had
I have not
lightning
been-
delays
yeah, I
before.
have
and
not
we had
been to a
heat
JOAD.
delay last year.
I've not been to a JOAD Nationals yet that we haven't had some type of delay.
Right. And whether it's in the southern states or
Mm-hmm.
up here in Iowa, because we were in Decatur before. And we
It was
had
heat down there.
It was heat. And then the year before that was weather.
Oh, weather as well. That's
yes,
right. It was raining a lot too.
I know that my boy had to shoot in the lights
But the
because
nice-
it's nighttime.
The nice thing about here, though, right now is that it's during official practice, so
Yep.
we have 2 sessions. So everybody's going to have a chance to shoot this afternoon as well. So,
And the
Sure.
beautiful part, and I'm being sarcastic, but the most beautiful part is it's raining at the beginning of it, so it's going to be really humid. for the rest of the week.
Well, the other way of seeing it is like after it rains, the field is going to be beautiful with the green grass and the
Yep.
trees and all that.
And
so-
temperature may not be too bad.
Correct.
You know,
Correct.
It would-
Hopefully there won't be any mud. So if you are going to the fields, there could be mud. Make sure that if you do not have gear, so either rubber boots, maybe you flew, you don't have rubber boots, or like we got the shoe covers. For
those
us.
Amazon special shoe covers. Those things are
Amazon
awesome.
special. I
plastic
tell you
bags.
what, hey guys, and if you don't have them, it's Prime Day if you're Amazon Prime. And by the way,
true.
I do not get anything from Amazon. I mean, as far as a kickback from Amazon, but as a mom and a teacher, I use Amazon quite frequently, and
we would
shoe
accept a
covers,
sponsorship from
right?
Amazon.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. I mean,
yes.
we should start advertising them. Like, hey guys, we're a growing podcast here, and now we have a special
Right.
guest, and we're
We
traveling.
do.
We're traveling, and we're
Yeah.
We love having our special guest. Yes.
So speaking of special guests, Leo, where are you from?
I am from Colorado.
Okay.
That's where home is, and my accent is because I was raised in South America. So
Oh, I just thought it was like East Texas.
yeah, East Texas.
I was going to say the way you said Colorado. I was like, yeah, that's not how we say Colorado.
Yeah, exactly.
You might explain.
So that's where home is. Colorado's home, and obviously I've been doing archery for about 7 years, 8 years. been involved in that. I started joining in archery with my wife to just learn how to shoot. And then eventually I decided, you know what, I want to learn the rules because I kept going to tournaments, not understanding what was what. And, did all different types of events too. So that kind of made it a little bit more complicated. But then I'm at a point right now where I'm a Continental Judge and I'm enjoying this. And it's good to just travel the country and see familiar, friendly faces and
Yes.
just enjoy it. And that's
Because this is my second year judging with you.
Yes.
We judged JOAD Nationals together last year, and then we've had some USATs this year.
That is correct.
And here we are again at JOAD Nationals again this year. And my daughter, all of your magnets, you always bring magnets
Yes.
from Colorado.
Yes.
And I have them on the fridge. My daughter looked the other day, and I don't know why she just now noticed. Mom, where did these magnets from Colorado come from?
Don't you remember when we traveled over there? Well, this trip I couldn't get magnets because I was like in a rush, but I did bring some stickers. So
Hey!
in
Oh,
our-
there
was
in
more
our
lightning,
community,
guys.
well,
Yeah.
I was supposed
We
to be
do
on your
stickers.
field, but they moved me last second.
that is correct
Yeah.
because you
It
got
was
a
a
bigger
bad
field now.
combination to have the two of y'all on that field.
It probably would not have been good, you and
They
me
kind
together.
of figure out what was going on in the background. They go like, "We don't want these two guys together."
Wait a minute.
Right?
Yeah.
But that's not a bad thing. We do like having fun
Yes.
at USA Archery, and even at or any archery, but this is USA Archery. At our judges meeting last night, that's something that we talked about. We talk a lot about customer service and then making it fun for the kids. It's educational for the kids. That's part of that was mentioned last night, that it's JOAD. So the last letter D stands for development. And that's what we're trying to do with these young archers here is it's development. And that's one thing I like is teaching the kids.
Yep.
If they don't know something, and we want them to walk away with the feeling of, I want to go again next year. I don't care if it rained.
And they said
we're-
there's a lot of new kids, new
Yes,
archers
that
are
was
shooting this one.
awesome. That made my heart smile.
Well, that was such a nice way to present it, right? We're here as judges to help the event run smooth and to be safe. But our main goal is to help develop the archers for them to keep coming here
Absolutely.
and knowing that they're here because they practice, they put in their time, and they want to compete.
Yes.
So our role is not to judge them, but to help them develop and to make sure that they're competing in a framework that is safe for them and equal for everybody.
And I think so many times people hear of us being a judge that they think of, I will even get, and it's in a joking way, but in Texas, I'll have an adult come up and say, don't judge me. Or, it's presented in a harsh way.
Correct.
Not really a bad way, but a harsh way. And that's not what we're here to do. I like how
Correct.
you brought up the safety part of it and safety and in fairness for all. So we're really there to try to help with the rules, and the rules are there for safety and the rules are there for fairness. And that's all there is to it. I know that so many times people do not like us going with the apparel, the dress code. However, that's still a safety issue, whether it's for abuse, and we have safe sport that we all have to comply with. And then, so we're trying to keep all the kids safe, whether it's, if something gets hung up in a string or something like that, or if it's the other side of it with,
Well,
It's not because you want us to have farmers' tans. Have all of them have farmer tans. That's what us as judges want. We want you
fairness
to
for
look
all.
terrible.
We want farmer tans for all. Wendy Whalen and I were comparing ours last night. We're like, oh,
You got your judge's tan.
yeah, judge's tan. That's what it's going to be called.
Well, I mean, and the real background of all of this is like, as an archer, you want to look good for the camera.
Yes,
and you
professional.
never know where the camera is.
That's right.
That's true.
All of a sudden, you go to the pictures and go like, was I doing that?
But professional in appearance, professional in our code of conduct, whether, again, the appearance or if it is the way we present ourselves, period.
Yes, correct.
So-
well, that's a very important thing to do, right? Because it's like we keep being told, like we as judges are on the field and we are representing USA Archery.
That's right.
So if we present correctly and in a professional way, that reflects on the whole organization, and not just that, but also on the event and how it's being run as well. And
so that's a good point, is that there's a dress code not only for archers but for judges as well. There's a dress code that goes all the way through coaches.
Yep. Yeah, coaches
So
and
it's
how to behave.
not just archers, but they're younger, and everyone wants to have their way of doing things.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
I've got a teenage
but
daughter.
overall-
I know.
So today is official practice, so that means that we are going to be looking at dress codes.
Yes.
So yesterday was unofficial, so you saw some kids with tank tops and things like that.
I saw that.
That will not be acceptable here.
Right.
There was a question yesterday which I thought was interesting. Can you roll your sleeves up?
That is true. And
What can you? You can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
you
if
can,
you
as
don't
long-
want that farmer's tan, roll your sleeve up. It just the rule is that you have to have a sleeve.
See,
Yeah.
me, I didn't want to say that because then everyone is rolling their sleeves
Sleeves
up.
up.
Hey, if you want to look silly, as Leo is saying, when taking pictures, you can look
I
silly.
love it. There you go.
We're going to
There you
edit
go.
this out, right?
Leo said,
So we are on a rain delay. The one thing that I do want to bring up is we want to talk through a little bit of the stuff that we talked about last night with the judges. One of them was coaches. So the coaches, it's a little different than it is when you go to a USAT.
Yes.
Because USAT, the coaches are allowed to sit with the archers. Not the case for JOAD.
there is a coach's alley, and it is behind the tables. So there is archer seating, then there are tables, then coach's alley, which will have seats for coaches to
That was,
sit
I was
in.
going to say, that's one of the things that they've added this year. They put seats back there for them because I don't think they did that last year.
Coaches
What was-
have to have their credentials, and the only coaches who will be allowed to the waiting line, and the only time you're allowed to the waiting time is during shooting, and those coaches will have orange wristbands.
And they've set it up so that it's easier for them to get to the field than in the past.
Yeah,
Because
but
I think there was like 3 entrances, one in the middle, one on each side
Yeah.
last year. And then evidently, I haven't been to the field yet, but evidently they are periodically spaced out to where it's much more accessible.
So one thing to note out of all this, with the restrictions to the field of play, is the fact that it's a safe sport.
Yes.
So we are working with young athletes under 21,
Right.
and the Olympics Committee wants us to follow certain protocols when we are around minors. So this is where this whole wristband or coaches access to the
Yes.
field of play, and that sometimes people don't get to. Even the field staff have to have their background and their safe sport
That's
kind
right.
of thing to be on the field. So you will see this weekend or this tournament, you'll see a lot of people with wristband, and they have different colors. They all mean different things. But if you have a wristband on, it pretty much just means that you have been safe sport certified.
Right. Do
to
we
be-
anticipate anything happening? No. But we want USA Archery, and really a lot of the USA sports, because we do the same thing in swimming. They do whatever they can to protect the athletes.
Correct. Yeah, so it's not to be mean to the coaches or anything
Right.
like that, but it also helps the athletes perform because now they're not surrounded by so many coaches
Right.
talking over. So
And it helps me as a parent to know that like I said, I have a teenage daughter. So to know that my teenage daughter is out on the field and protected as much as possible from anything.
just distraction, just general distractions too when you're shooting. Even though we'll talk about our archery bubble, right? But
Right.
sometimes if we can help the archers too, it's they're here to compete as well.
Right.
So we
That's
want
right.
them to perform at their best.
Let's talk about the bands real quick. There's a
So
few
we
different
talked
colors.
about the wristbands, and so yellow, and this is going to be per field. And so one of the field that I will be on has a yellow wristband for recurve and barebow women and compound and fixed pin men. And then there was more lightning just now. So then there are green wristbands, and that's for recurve and barebow men, compound and fixed pin women. Like I said, the coaches will have the orange wristband, and I believe everyone who has been Safe Sport certified will have blue.
Blue, that is correct. That's what we were told yesterday.
All right, so we have and the other thing I wanted to mention was this came up. Wendy and I were talking about it. So our COJ, Andy, sent out a list of questions. I don't know if you saw that. Like,
Oh, I
as
love
kind of,
that. It was attached to
50,
one of the
It was like 58
emails.
questions, basically, to
Oh,
remind
the
us,
email.
like, hey,
Yes.
I say questions. It was more of, hey, what
Refresher.
the refresher
It was-
of,
yeah, that's what
of
it's
what it
called.
was. One of them was talking about the communication between the coach and the athlete while they're shooting in qualifications. The question was, what are some of the limitations to that? One of them is, and I know that at Arizona Cup, we had a lot of discussion on this when I was at Arizona, that the coaches would talk to the athlete and the athlete would talk back. The athlete's not allowed to talk back. They can nod, they can do whatever they want that way, but they can't verbally respond back to their coach. So just as a reminder to our coaches, that's one of the things. Also, as a coach, don't get too loud or we'll have to shut you down. Because I say we shut you down. It's the other athletes that get just distracted by too much chatter.
Yeah, sportsmanship. That kind of revolves all around that. So some of those rules are soft. Some of them are harder to implement. Some of them are harsh. But again, the whole thing is just development, right? So it's a good
We
point
want to be
bring
good experience.
up. We want to be good athletes, have good sportsmanship, and like we keep talking, we want everybody to enjoy their tournament.
That's right.
Their parents and coaches dedicating time not just to come here, but throughout the year.
Right.
And we want them to have a great experience when they're here.
And also, we talk about rules. We know that, as you just mentioned, the time to get here, we know that there was a lot of money spent to get here. We know that frustrations arise too, especially with weather. But to be patient and just, again, we talk on a lot of our podcasts. So as a parent, to be like the cheerleader, hey, you need some water? Do you need, how's it going? That kind of thing. Are we having fun? So these archers already have pressure on them. Yep. And as a parent, if we can just kind of...
I think it's a good point because as a parent, it's kind of like when I played high school basketball, I played college basketball. I remember when I went to college and we went to our first game and our coach just sat there. He just gave a little bit of guidance. And it was weird because, the coach I had before was a yeller. Oh. He'd get up and he'd be like, you get you down. Do
I
this.
thought you were using the Texan word of yellow. He was a yeller. I was like, what? What does that mean?
And I remember
Take me a minute.
After the game, somebody asked like that was kind of interesting that you weren't yelling. He's like, you've already practiced.
Yeah.
You've already done everything. There's nothing I can say at this moment that's going to change the outcome of this game other than just a little bit of guidance. Yeah. And so we as parents need to know that when we come in, you scream and you need to focus. I guarantee you they're doing their best out there right now.
There's some things, I wish I was there, or if I could put a reminder on Julia's phone to go off every once in a while to say, remember to wrap your fingers.
So that's a good example about the different styles of coaching, right? So they're not good or bad coaches. They're just their style of way. So that's the thing we as judges sometimes manage that in a positive way, where it's like we are paying attention to everybody. We're making sure everybody is having a good experience and that their needs are being met, no matter what style of coaching you have, no matter what personality you have. We all are part of this group. We're all part of this event. We want to make sure everybody has a good experience, no matter what you're bringing to the table. So,
absolutely.
So official practices today, with these delays, that more than likely does not mean that they're going to extend practice past 4 o'clock today because there's other events that are going to be going.
We just got the official that no, it will not be.
It will not.
Because the kickoff is tonight.
We're sitting with a bunch of people that are in charge. So it will end at 4, even if they don't. If this thing gets extended till 1 o'clock, guess what? That's the only time that there's going to be practice.
Which would be 1 to 4.
Yep.
And I'm also kind of looking over at Jenny. I'm guessing we will still have the lunch break from 12 to 1. All right. So
even if they open it up at 11,
right, that would be an hour
going to be good for about an hour. Yeah.
Before we go to the 1 to 4.
Well, the other thing for people that are listening to understand too is like obviously there's rain delayed, but it also delays us as judges to go and certify the field.
Yes.
So we need that time make sure.
Very good point.
Yes.
So it's not just the rain stop, let's go and shoot. We haven't been able to execute our part of our duty of making sure that the field is certified.
Absolutely.
That's a very good point because as ACOJs, because this is such a big big tournament. You have your COJ, which is the guy that's the El Hancho, the El Presidente.
What are you trying to say here? Oh my word!
Well,
Just stop.
Sorry. El Jefe. El Jefe.
Okay, so now. Oh yes. Okay.
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 All right.
Good info.
So Jenny just walked up to us. She was within earshot, and so we will be out there doing inspections at 7 a.m. in the morning tomorrow. Because we've passed 7 a.m. now. So.
Yeah. So we have our judges today is the day that we go early and we certify everything on the field to make sure everything is right.
Which we have not been able to do so yet.
And that's why I was saying, like, we have the COJ, we have ACOJs. Because it's so big, we have an ACOJ at each one of the fields, and those guys are responsible for certifying that field.
Correct.
Also, and then now, because of some of the delays and flights and everything, we've been told that even at 7 a.m. tomorrow, you'll be able to do your equipment check and things like that.
Yes, because people have been delayed travel, whether they're driving or flying, either one.
Correct. Yeah, so that's the other nice thing about USA Archery in the way that we run events, right? We're flexible.
Yes.
We are not rigid. We have a structure that we need to follow.
Right.
We're an event that we need to accomplish, but we work within our boundaries or the rain delays.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And again, I think that's again another good example of customer service. We understand that people are still trying to come here, even though we're already here. There's still people trying to get in, travel delays as well. So we try to accommodate people as it comes up, as situations
Absolutely.
come up.
Good. There. So on equipment check, if someone does not get equipment checked, what happens?
We follow them. We chase them. We have a list.
We do have a list.
We do have a list. And if you're not checked on that list, we will go and hunt you down and find you.
We come and find your bail. It may or may not be announced.
Right. Yeah, we do try to hit everyone to make sure that everybody gets it, even if it's on the line, because we've had to. I know at Arizona Cup at one point we were actually. We knew who had not been done, and so I knew I had like 3 people on my end, so I went and actually did the equipment check with them on the line right beforehand.
And it is my experience though that sometimes people shoot different styles. NFAA, for example, ASA, or they just came from a 3D tournament and they forgot to change something in their equipment. So it's actually been sometimes to their advantage to make sure that we at least take a quick look at their equipment before something later down the line becomes worse. So it's preventive, right? So if you don't do your bow inspection, we will find you.
We'll find you.
We try in a nice way.
Could be like the FBI track you down.
So practice will end at 4 o'clock today.
Yes.
There is a social at 6 p.m. tonight, which I think is going to be pretty cool.
They have cookie dough.
Yeah.
Just,
And free
I
ice
want to
cream?
remind everybody.
Wendy is very excited about
I couldn't get past the cookie dough. Lots and lots of giveaways.
We're going to have Jenny kind of talk a little about
Right?
this.
Jenny
running away.
didn't just say
No.
there are giveaways, but she came up and she's like, there are
Lots
and
of
lots. So not just
giveaways.
lots of giveaways, but lots and lots of giveaways. And if y'all could have seen her hand gestures with lots and lots.
It was like lots of lots.
Yes.
Lots of lots.
And we're very thankful for Jenny. I mean, she has been behind the scenes probably year round trying to get all of this taken care of.
These tournaments are not easy to put together.
I can't even imagine.
We put together a small tournament, and there's a lot of work that's been done. But at a what was it? Oh, it's over 850 archers, I believe. I'm looking at Jenny. I don't know if she hears me.
Jenny, how many archers? How many archers are registered for this tournament?
861 archers.
Wow. Give or take.
Give or take an archer or 2.
Wow. Amazing.
That's a big tournament.
And that doesn't even talk about the staff that's here, the judging commission that's here, the bukus of volunteers.
Can you imagine the amount of people that come with those archers?
Oh, yeah.
Because every archer travels with at least one parent,
right?
right?
Yeah.
Right.
So now you're at least double that amount of people.
And
That
any
is
siblings?
amazing. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
my word.
I mean, we have 12 judges for this event. It's a big event.
Yes.
It's a
big event. So let's talk. We'll have two more things to talk about. So
You sure only 2?
yeah. Maybe one.
Two goes to 10 with you. I don't know.
Maybe 3. I don't know.
Yeah.
First, Leo, go ahead and tell us what does tomorrow look like?
So tomorrow, hold on, because
No rain.
Tomorrow's day 3, which is Thursday, July 13th.
Right.
So we are, if everything holds as scheduled, we're going to start 3 practice ends at 8 a.m. on your field. So if you're going to be there, make sure you're there before then. And again, I think what Jenny just said, if you have not had your bow inspected, try to be there by 7.
Yep.
Get with a judge, get your bow inspected so that at 8 we can start shooting. So that will be 3 practice ends, and then we're going to continue with your qualification round of 12 end of 6 arrows.
Yep.
72 arrows that will be, and that will be for recurve. That will be all recurve and barebow women, and as well as compound and fixed pin men. We're hoping that we're done around noonish or so if everything runs smooth. The whole crew will take a little break, and then
Because I like to eat.
Yeah. And then again for the afternoon, it's supposed to start at 1:30. Again, 3 practice ends, qualification round of 72 arrows. We're gonna have recurve and barebow men this time, and compound and fixed pin women. Now, also be aware though that arrive early to the field, right, to make sure that you're all set up, your bow is set up correctly. But we'll most likely ask people that if we're still shooting to stay behind the field of play entrance, because then that leaves the archers that are completing their event to actually have the time and space to finish their tournament.
It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. This field is not as big as the one in Decatur where there was plenty of room.
Yep.
It's going to be a little tight.
So
everybody's going to become family.
Yeah.
Yes.
So just be aware of that. I know people usually come in the afternoon, they want to come in early to set up, but just give them some space and time to the archers that are competing, because just be respectful for the other athletes that are still finishing their event. Right.
Good point.
And when we talk about being respectful, I'm sorry, I just cut you off, but please make sure and pick up your trash that's all around there. Everybody is going to have a water bottle. It's going to be sitting down. Just make sure you pick up your trash.
Yeah.
And, they said that yesterday it was cleaned by the archers and their families. It was well taken care of, and we want to see that throughout the tournament.
As staff and as people, like I work on the field crew as well, and I talk to them often. It really means a lot to us when we see that we put so much time and effort to put a tournament together, and we're getting a little bit of that support back. It really means a lot. So
yeah, I mean, USA Archery puts together such a professional tournament. That's in my opinion.
Yes.
That we want to make sure that it's professional from the archer's perspective, from the parents' perspective, from our perspective, and we want it to be clean and nice, and because they want to make sure everything looks good every single day.
Well, and again, if you're leaving in the morning, right? If you shot in the morning and now the second wave of archery is coming, you want that field to be nice for them as well, because the ones that come in the second shooting time, they are as important as the first group. It's not like the later group where it's just, that's when they're starting their tournament. That's when they're coming in. So you want them to feel appreciated as well, to come into a clean and ready to go field.
Right. I'm going to put a challenge out there. Leave it better than when you arrived.
That's right.
Leave it. I went and I was at I heard a speaker one time, and he said, if I go in and I see trash on the ground, I'm going to go ahead and pick it up, even though it's not mine. I'm going to pick it up anyway.
Well, here's the challenge, right? So we're to the qualification. So our group is going to come in the morning. Let's see how clean this morning crew can leave it for the afternoon.
There you go.
Right.
Because tomorrow or after tomorrow, they're going to change. It's going to flip. So let's see if we can make that happen.
There you go.
Challenge has been thrown out there, guys.
All right, so I think we should go ahead and close this one out. We will give you guys another update for day 2.
That's right.
Which will be we'll probably be doing that tonight and posting it again tonight. All right, and thank you, Leo, for joining us.
Yeah, no, thanks for this. This was great.
I assume you may join us again.
I would love to
That'd be awesome.
if the audience can understand how I speak.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't have any problem with it. I'm a Texas girl, so.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you guys at the next target.
And that is it for this episode of Raising an Archer.